What's up friends, I'm back again to discuss with you the second question, idol worship. We will discuss it scientifically with proofs and other stuff. It's my personal research on this topic. So first of all, we have to understand the idol worship has two words. One is the idol and the second one is the worship. We will discuss both these one by one. Now pick the first word, that's idol. What idol is? Usually, for others, it's just a piece of rock. What happened a few days back, my friends asked me, "Hey Rohit, do you guys worship rock?" Like, might be they have seen someone worshipping shoveling or someone worshipping any form of idol. I didn't reply. The reason I didn't reply is because I don't want to indulge in any kind of debates. It depends upon your understanding, how you understand the things. Few days later, he said, "Rohit, hey, I got a new iPhone 5s. I said, "So what?" "Hey, so what? What do you mean, so what? It cost me more than $1,000. It has this features, it has this feature in there. It got LTE spot, it got a Wi-Fi, fast Wi-Fi for downloads, it got this thing, it got that thing, and a lot of stuff." I didn't reply to any of the things. You know what I replied at the end? I said, "For me, it's just a rock." He said, "What? Just a rock for you?" I said, "Yeah, for me it's a rock." And he said, "Are you serious? I love this phone. I love this phone." I said, "Why you love this phone?" He said, "Because this phone, I use this phone to communicate with my loved ones." I said, "How?" He said, "See, there's a SIM in there." Alright. I said, if there's no SIM in there, how are you gonna connect to your loved ones?" He said, "I can use Wi-Fi. I can use Skype, I can use Facebook, I can chat with them, I can hook up to any hotspot of Wi-Fi, I can still be connected with them." I said, "Alright, suppose if there's no Wi-Fi." He said, "If there's no Wi-Fi, then I still can see their pictures in there, their previous messages. I can still be in contact with them." I said, "Okay, what if it's not charged? If it is completely dead?" He said, "Oh, if it is not charged, it's completely dead, then definitely it's a brick." And this is a very common term. If you Google it, bricked iPhones, bricked Samsung Galaxies. It's a very common term, bricked. So what's the difference between brick and rock and an idol? For that person to communicate to his loved one, he's using the iPhone or any phone. He's putting the SIM in there or using the Wi-Fi or charging it every morning or evening to manage to connect to his loved ones. In the same way, a Hindu is putting his faith in a rock, and that faith, we can compare that faith to a SIM. When he puts his faith in there, he can connect to his God. When, suppose in a case, sometimes we are lacking our faith. That's what the temples are, that's what religious places. Like the others' faith can together boost your faith. And same thing, if there's no faith, he can go to a temple, he can hook up, like the other guy can hook up to Wi-Fi. He can go to a temple and he can worship over there. The other guy is charging every morning or evening his iPhone, and this guy and a Hindu is worshipping every morning and every evening. So if you think it logically, it makes sense. It makes sense. A phone is made up of the silicon, germanium, plastic. A phone is made up And on the other hand, the idol of a Hindu is made up of same material, could be rock. One is putting its sim in there and the other one is putting his faith in there. They are connected to the Wi-Fi, other one is going to the temple. They are charging it. This guy is charging the device every morning and every evening, and this guy is praying, is worshipping every morning, every evening to connect to the God. And this guy is using that phone to connect to his loved one. Now, what happened? Many people ask here, this is a disrespect of God. What you mean this is a disrespect of God? It's just a source to communicate to the God. If there's a new phone in the market, what you do? You recycle your phone, you back up your data, you recycle your phone. And the same thing, if the idol is old or some problems with the idol, you can destroy, you can build a new one. You think it's a device, scientifically you think it's a device that's used to communicate with the God. I have a very good example here. So this is my phone, alright? And suppose someone asks me, how's your son? Or show me your son. Like everyone asks to a Hindu, show me your God. And what he does, he points toward the idol sometimes. So if someone asks me, show me your son, what I will do, and that's my son, and that's my son. And think of a situation if I'm saying this thing to someone like this is my son, and the third person or the other guy who's next to me, he's laughing at me. Oh, is this one your son? When a Hindu points toward an idol, this is my God, people laugh at him. So who is wrong here? Is that Hindu is wrong here, or the other people, those guys who are not understanding the concept are wrong here? I'm just explaining it again. This is my son. Alright, here we go. This is my son. And you are thinking this phone is my son. It's difference between the way others understand and way we understand the things. Summarizing what idol is. For an Hindu, an idol is just a medium, a mean, or a device. Like it's a scientific, come to the scientific definition. For an Hindu, an idol could be a device that's used to communicate with God. For a Hindu, his God is in that idol. And if you are not understanding the views, so they are not wrong. Where the problem is in the understanding and in the relation, how you are relating to things. Thank God, sun is here. Idea of the idol, like idol is a device to communicate with the God. Now people ask why there's this need of a device to communicate with God. Why there is a need of a device to communicate with the God. Do we need a device to communicate with the God? We don't need any device to communicate with the God, but everyone has not developed their conscious at that level. Moreover, the Hinduism, the meditation is also there in the Hinduism. That's the best way to connect to the God. But everyone can't do the meditation. So what they can use, as God has no form, the God has no form, but we are living in a world of that's bound in the matter. So we are bridging this gap. We are not in the same world. One is formless and one is in a form. So we are developing a gadget that can connect these two worlds. But If you, I'm not saying you always use an idol to worship a god. Do meditate. A Hindu or any person say many times in a day, usually any religious person, a good person, thank God. How many times he thanks to God? How many times he says, oh God, help me, I'm in trouble? Do you think the God is not listening to him? Do you think at the time he needs an idol? But having an idol with you or in front of you is like boosting your faith. Why people have wallpaper on the computers? I don't think so. Usually they watch them every time. They look at the wallpaper every time. Like they look at the wallpaper for fractions of seconds usually. But why they have the wallpaper of their loved ones on the backgrounds of the phones of the device they use? Because they want to be emotionally, as a human being, they want to be emotionally attached to something, and that thing is formless, and they are just, the actual God is formless, but they are creating a form to satisfy their emotions. This was all about the idols. Now what is worship? Worship simply is to praise, to thank. Okay guys, come to the second part of the question. Worship. What worship actually is? Worship is just like thanking. It's praising someone. Basically it's praising the supreme creator, the supreme God. Usually people ask, is it a sin to worship idols? I will ask them how many times they thank living beings, they thank their parents, they thank their love, they thank their teacher, they thank to anyone who come and help them. They are worshipping them. If you think deep, they are worshipping every human being who helped them or guided them. How many times in their writings, in their language, they use the word thanks. So means, doesn't mean they are worshipping everyone, or is it mean they are worshipping everyone? No. Actually, they are thanking the Supreme God. Because of that Supreme God, that person is helping them. Suppose someone is in trouble on the highway, he ran out of the gasoline or petrol, and a person comes, unknown person comes and he asks, do you need some help? And what he say? Thank God. The first thing he will say, and then he thanks that person. So in fact, at the end he is thanking the Supreme God, because everything is created by God. Everything is a part of the God. So if you are thanking any human being, at the end you are thanking you're thanking the Supreme God. And in the same way, in Hinduism is such a diverse religion, like it even thanks the non-living things too. It worships the trees too. They gives us oxygen. It worships the animals too. It worships the idols. Not only it worships the idols. Hinduism is such a lovely religion. It doesn't thank only the human beings. It also thanks trees, animals, and other non-living things. This is the beauty of Hinduism. This is the diversity of Hinduism. If someone is thanking anyone, he is thanking at the end the Supreme God. And if a Hindu is worshipping an idol or a tree or any other thing, he is thanking the God for his unique creativity. He is thanking that God has created this unique thing that is helping me. Think of a situation. I don't know who made this Samsung. I don't know who is the creator of this Samsung Galaxy S phone. Please say this is a lovely phone. I always thanks this phone when it saves me from troubles. It connects me to my loved ones. So means at the end I'm thanking whom? I'm not thanking the phone. Eventually I'm thanking the person who has developed, who has made this thing. So idol worship is when a Hindu assumes that God has created these beautiful things, and because of those things he is surviving, because of those things he is living. He can create his own idol, or he can worship a tree, he can worship a book, he can worship anything, not only idol. But if he is worshipping an idol, he is worshipping the Supreme God. Now another thing comes into point. People ask me, you are bowing down to an idol. That's disrespect of the Supreme God. That's a very good question. And I will ask them, when they are speaking to your loved ones, all you teenies over there, when you speak to your loved one, girlfriends, what you do? Love you, sweetheart. Love you, sweetie. I love you so much. The third person will laugh at you, who will think you're kissing the phone. But eventually, emotionally, you are loving your girlfriend. If a Hindu is worshipping is going down in front of a statue or an idol, at the end he is worshipping the Supreme God. At the end he is going down to the Supreme God, because that God doesn't have any form. So what he can do? If you ask, God exists everywhere and God exists nowhere, like it doesn't have any form, to whom I should bow? So that's why, to solve this issue, they have started going down to the idols. They are the gate, they are the source, they are the device that connect them to the God, and these are the devices that take their messages to the God. So summarizing at the end, idol worship is not a sin. Idol worship is something, it's scientifically proven. Idol worship can be compared to the scientific gadgets these days. Our ancestors have made these gadgets millions of years ago. So idol worship is a practice with which we can communicate to the God. It's just a device that's designed to communicate to the God. Idol worship is not a sin. It's not a bad thing. But the confusion arises when we start thinking idol as a God. So idol is not God. So idol is not a God, but idol is a device to take our message to God. Okay, this was the answer to the question idol worship. Thanks for watching my video, and if you are new to my channel, do subscribe, hit like and share with your friends. May God bless you.